My knee up, tore my ACL.
Oh,
Bounced back.
wow.
Yeah, it was trash. Bounced
What
back.
year did you bounce your? What year did you tore your ACL?
My freshman, my red shirt freshman year. So now my freshman year, my red shirt freshman, my first year on the field, I tore it. And then I came back, all good, recovered, and tore it again like a year and a half later, like in the worst
The
part.
same one?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was trash.
I know that was trash.
Yeah. It's horrible. And then right after that, we had a coaching switch. So the coach that recruited me that I came in with, he got fired, and we had another coach come in, and it kind of killed the passion for me because
It wasn't the coach you started out with.
no, not even that. It's just more so what they were saying, like because I've been injured, they basically thought that I couldn't really play at the level that
That you knew you could play.
Yeah.
What was that like? Like something that you said was your basically your ticket out.
Yeah.
And you being injured as long as you were, like what was it like trying to bounce back? Like what did you? I'm pretty sure it was kind of discouraging because you heal, you get back on the field, and then boom, you tear it again.
Yeah. For me, it was challenging mentally, but for me, I look at it like this, man. Life has always been hard, but I didn't know it was hard because that was the usual.
Yeah, that was your normal.
So being in adverse situations was normal to me, but then I had people help me get through the injuries. Like she was there for me the whole time. So that was pretty dope having her there, and then other people like my roommate Fred that helped me get through it like physically but mentally it was a battle that was extremely hard the second time, knowing how long it's going to take to recover. And
Because it probably took you longer to recover the second time, right?
No.
No?
First time it took me longer because I'd never done it before. The second time I knew what I had to do. I knew what the pain was. I wasn't as scared.
Did you tear it the exact same way?
No. First time I tore it in a drill. The second time I was playing basketball.
So you weren't even playing when you tore them.
Nope.
Oh, that's gotta feel so bad.
Yeah.
So at what point did you decide do you still play in a sense, or you just completely just was like, nah, I don't want to be an athlete anymore?
I get away with it. I get completely away from it.
Mm-hmm.
People tell me I get into arguments with some of my friends because I like to have conversations. So I get in arguments with some of my friends because they tell me my way of dealing with things is to just completely avoid it. I look at it differently. Why deal with something if you know it's going to cause you drama? So I just completely disengage from it. I don't really watch football. I never really have, but I don't go to games or anything. Because honestly, I just felt like that was my way out. So it kind of depressed me, in a sense, because I didn't know anything else. And when you ask about how was the transition, that was the transition. Because
You just cut it off cold turkey.
Yeah, I had to, because my head was messed up, man. It's like if I couldn't do that, I didn't have a purpose. And I feel like if you don't have purpose, you're not really.
Yeah, you feel like you're just existing, you're not living.
For no reason, yeah.
Right. So you really just, talk me up right there, because as, a black woman and a black man, mental health is like something that's really big for me. And I love to encourage conversation about mental health, especially with black men, because black men are raised to believe that showing emotion and expressing yourself is a feminine characteristic and it's a weakness.
Mm-hmm.
So how was that kind of what you were taught when you were younger? Like, was that your experience? Because I don't want to assume that everybody had the same experience, because some black fathers do encourage that, but what was it like for you and then experiencing that depression?
Well, I didn't have my father in my life. I had a stepdad when I was a teenager. Him and my mom divorced. But I guess I was taught that I would stop crying like a bitch.
As a little girl, don't be a little girl.
All those little things. But I mean, I think it made me tougher. It put me in a place where I could, take a lot more than the average person. But I've always thought for myself. So I think I became numb a little bit from those situations, but I'm able to understand that we have been taught that. Now I am able to show emotion a little bit more. The thing is, when it does come out, it's just like very extreme.
Is it like a build up and then it's like, or is it just you don't know how to, kind of like pour it a little bit? You just gotta turn it all the way over and let it all out.
Well, it just depends on the situation what we're talking about. One thing that gets me going is ignorance or stupidity. Like, it's just like, if we're having an intelligent conversation and you just like completely stupid, or you say something that's like
completely ignorant.
Yeah, it's, to me, like, you gotta know better than that. So, like, in situations like that, I get very up and frustrated. But other than that, man, I'm very like level-headed. Like, if we're having a conversation about something we just disagree with, I can talk about that.
Yeah.
But overall, I think I show emotions. I show emotions. Do I show emotions? She lying.
And who is this?
This is my girl. This is Shy.
Oh, hi, Shy. I love. So hi. How long y'all been together?
4 years.
Oh, that's amazing. So like so she was there throughout the whole, you experiencing the depression and stuff like that. How was that? Because, you know, especially like, I've seen this and I've experienced this firsthand dating someone that had like mental health experiences, especially as a Black man. Like, how was it? Was it like a fight to kind of like express that and like let her in, or like how was that? Or y'all had been together like quite some time before you experienced it, or how was that?
I'm a completely different person, so honestly, it wasn't fair for her. It wasn't fair for a lot of people. I can express myself. Anybody can express themselves, but nobody is ever gonna understand like you want them to understand.
Yeah.
So I couldn't put that on nobody to do that. Because to this day, I still felt like nobody was there for me. But nobody could be there, because no matter what you said to me, if you told me it was gonna be all right, it wasn't gonna be all right. I can't play football no more. Yeah. If you tell me, well, Dre, you know what, you just gotta, if you really want to do it, you gotta get up and do it. Well, I can't do it because I gotta go through a coach, and the coach obviously isn't gonna let me play. So no matter what you said to me, you wasn't gonna be there for me. So I don't, to today, I still feel like nobody can understand, but a part of me says it's because I wouldn't let them understand. But that's what got me out of that. I needed to be that way, you know.
Oh, okay. I definitely understand that. So when the music comes into play, you know, you're out of school, you're not playing football anymore, you've completely disassociated from it. How does the music come into play? When is it like, okay, I want to pursue this full time, this is my purpose?
Because I was searching for purpose. Like I said, nobody could understand what I was going through. I partially didn't understand it because it was like, there's no way I could just let this go. There's no way, like, I've been doing this. This was supposed to be my way out. So when I was done with that,
and that was hard to accept, wasn't it?
Very, very, very. Like, even I posted a post the other day, man. It's still kind of bittersweet looking at myself like doing great on drills and stuff, and that's what hurt me, like fighting through that pain, because my knees still hurt today. Just searching for a purpose. I looked into religion and a whole bunch of other things. Nothing did it for me but music, you know. And it was to the point where like it's just like, oh, why am I here in a sense. But then I just got back to the roots. I recorded a song about it, and I just wrote a verse about it, and just like, you know, I like that. I like what I did, and then I wanted to do something better. And, you know, I found a purpose, and I found a reason to keep going, you know. So music kind of saved my life, you know. So it's just like, I got to keep doing it.
Wow, and you've been doing it for 3 years?
4 years.
4 years?
Yeah.
Wow. So what has that experience been like? So from year to year, what tell me some things that you've learned and some progress that you've made as an individual and as an artist.
Well, as a individual, I learned that I don't know, I've always been for me, even with football. I never really listened to nobody, I always listened to me. So I'm kind of stubborn, set in my ways. So I haven't really learned much on the individual side, but as an artist, which changes me as an individual, I learned that, again, you have to listen to yourself, because if you listen to people, you're never going to make progress. Because I had a whole bunch of people telling me I was good when I first started out. I really wasn't good. I really wasn't, like, you know, the greatest. I wasn't what I expected, and or what I thought I was. And looking back, I would always listen to people when they said that, and I wonder why nobody liked my content. You know, why nobody supported it. I have like 50 people telling me, I sent it to, yo, this is dope, man. This is dope. Well, I don't got 50 streams then. I've been sitting at 10 streams for the past 2 weeks. I got like 2,000 followers.
So why wasn't the engagement matching what people were saying?
Yeah, it's just because it wasn't good, you know. So I had to kind of like just be honest with myself. Like I would listen to like Wayne, Andre 3000, like old Tupac, listen to the quality, the hits that were playing at the time. listen to the quality of it, see if it matched, and it didn't. And basically, I had to find a way to, I guess, get myself on their level of quality and sound like what I listen to me, you know. So I say all that just to say, be honest with yourself as an artist. A lot of people ain't gonna be honest with you.
Has anybody ever told you that they didn't like your music?
Yes, but
tell me what happened.
I cut them off, man. I used to have this long list of artists and people that I felt like shitted on me or they didn't fuck with me. So like I was just gonna wait till I blew up and I was just gonna shit on them like anybody like. And honestly, I could today do it to a lot of the people that was on that list, but I learned that you know, when you focus on that negative and you hold those grudges, you're not doing nothing but holding yourself back. So if an opportunity comes up and you don't want to work with that person, you're still holding yourself back. There's more exposure you miss just because that person didn't want you to work. Yeah. So, and then even when society looks at you, when your Instagram followers or whatever your platform is, when they look at you, all right, so you're always saying, man, fuck them. They don't like me. They don't support me. Well, now the new people that come to your page, they're going to see, well, shit, why don't they like you? Why don't they support you? Now they're going to look for that reason. They're going to look for a reason not to like you, not to support you. But if you say, hey, look, I appreciate everybody that follows me. I appreciate everybody that supports me. Now the people that come in, well, why do they follow you? Why do they support you?
I want to know. I want to drink the Kool-Aid. I want to see what's going on. That is an amazing mindset to have.
It's worked wonders for me so far because I can literally go back and look at videos when I was only getting like 100 views, 200 views, and then it's boom ups to the thousands when you just switch that narrative, you know, controlling it.
Wow. So what was that feeling like when you really started to see the engagement match?
It was wonderful, man. But once you get that goal, once you get those people actually looking and viewing, it's just like, all right, boom. It becomes, you know, once you get something that loses the value.
Yeah.
All right, now it has to go up. My goal is upgraded now that I reached that goal. I'm not happy with it no more, you know. So it's just like
Okay,
you know.
okay, I got this. Next, what's this? What's next? What's next?
Yeah.
So speaking of next, shows, performances. Like the last time I saw you was that last year?
I think it was last year.
It was 2019.
Yeah.
At Culture Fest 3. Culture Fest 4 is actually next Saturday, and he's gonna be there.
See y'all there.
Be sure to get them tickets and turn up and go out there. I went last year and had an amazing dope experience. But like, what's life been like in the past year? Almost a year, because March is coming up. Yeah.
Well, it's been good. Last time you see me perform, my knee was messed up. I just messed it up, so I couldn't really perform well.
Well, I couldn't tell, so that's good.
That's good. See, the thing is about artists, we know, well, I'll speak for myself. I critique myself very hard and I know what I could do and I know how, like, the level where I could be. So if I don't get there, I'm upset with myself or like it's not good enough. Even when it is good enough, it's not good enough. I need to be better. So that was one of the things that I've been trying to work on is performance, just my performance.
Your energy.
Yeah. Well, not the energy, because I feel like my songs have a certain type of energy depending on what artist I am that day, because I do a whole bunch of different genres. It's just, if I'm just standing on stage and I don't have dancers or anything, how do I get the crowd to get into it, you know? Unless I'm just some super lyricist artist, lyrical artist, and that's not me. I just talk about what I've been through, my experiences.
And that's what makes it relatable.
Yes. But Slade or like Swank or Tamaine, they have lyrics like that capture your mind, like wordplay and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different with them. So it's just like they can capture a different way. So part of my journey was finding a way that I can get the crowd to interact to what I was doing, and it was putting more energy into my music. The second thing I was working on is just I was trying to get signed at one point, but I went to Atlanta, and me and X Brody he's gonna be at Culture Fest too. Me and him, we went down to Atlanta because I set up a meeting with this independent label. I won't speak on it. I won't say any names, anything. And basically, they were just running a scam on artists, and people say it's legit, but I'm smart, I think, for myself, and I do my own research.
And you trust your intuition when something's not right.
Very. He told me a whole bunch of stuff, and basically told me that he asked me what made me different, as if the music didn't speak for itself already. He said it did. My image didn't speak for itself, and it was nothing like that. Our sound had nothing. It sounded nothing to what they had. So we had a lot to offer. The only thing we wanted was funding. You know, We record ourselves, we engineer ourselves.
Everything is out of pocket.
Yes, you don't have to come out with any of those expenses. All we actually do is promotional material, marketing, tips with that and stuff like that. And you know, basically we're sitting in this guy's $2.5 million house, and I'm fussing with him, like, cause I'm not gonna let you tell me that what my worth is, and what, like, basically I'm not good enough. Same thing with football. You know, I feel like.
Did that kind of take you back in that moment?
I think it did. Not at the time, it didn't, but right now thinking about it, I think it did
because it kind of sounded familiar, and that's what that happens a lot with people that they really don't understand. A lot of times when we're in certain situations, we get triggered, and it's because we are reminded of. Shout out to, you know, that's my brand. I'm reminded, but we are reminded of something that happened to us that really struck a nerve and stuck with us. And anything that looks remotely familiar to that situation kind of just like is like, like it just hits you in a place, and it's just like, I cannot stand this. I don't want to be in this situation, and it's like fight or flight, and you fought for yourself. Yeah,
I think thinking about it now, I can agree. You know, because when I was living in that man's house, like if we wasn't in his house, I probably would have fought him, because it was just like, who are you to tell me, like.
You don't even know what you put into it and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's one of the things he said. He said, you got to fall in love with the process. I said, dude, you don't even know my process. You don't know me. You don't know who I am. You don't know my story. He told me I wanted the quick way out, not knowing that I've been doing this for a while before I even came to seeing you, like what I've been through.
It was kind of like a very judgmental standpoint.
Yeah.
And about the process, you speak about the process.
Yeah.
What has been the hardest thing for you during your process?
I think the hardest thing for me is just, you know, going through the process, I would say, because I know what I'm capable of doing. You know, and I can't expect everybody to see my vision or expect everybody to see my talent. I always say, nobody can see your dream because it's in your head.
Yeah.
You can explain it as much as you want to, but nobody gets that picture as much as you do. So the hardest thing for me is, even when me and Slade talk, is just like seeing where I am and knowing, like where in my heart, yes, and I hate it.
And it's like you can, like, I want to grab it, but I can't reach it.
Yes.
Oh wow.
And then consistently putting stuff out there, consistently working, and seeing what people say. Like, I've never had somebody meet me and like, you know, like, oh bro, nah, you're not it, or something like that. I made connections with people. I've made so many connections with people just off of who I am as a person, and then as an artist, it's just like, because they connect with me as a person, they relate, like, and then they hear it in my music. You know, it's just like, bro, like, why aren't you on yet? I hate when people ask me that, because I'm asking myself the same thing, so it's just a reminder. So I think that's the hardest thing for me.
Yeah, okay. As far as you going through those moments, right, and feeling frustrated with where you are, knowing where you can be, and seeing in your mind where you want to be, how did you combat that? As far as, I know there were feelings of doubt. I know there were feelings where you said you're your biggest critic. I can understand it on 100% level, where you can criticize yourself to the point where it's like sometimes you might question it. Was there ever a time where it was just like, is this for me? Like the doubts, all these, like the negative thoughts. Like, how did you combat that?
It's gonna sound, oh man, I just got loud out of nowhere. For me, and it's gonna sound crazy, you literally, I tell people every time I talk to somebody like an artist, because a lot of artists do go through that, but as an artist, as I become an artist, as an independent artist, you literally have to be insane to wake up and do the same thing over and over and over and over and it not work. Because that's literally the definition of insanity, doing the same thing, expecting things to change, and that's what we do. So for a normal person, I think it wears and tears on them, and I think why football hit me so hard is just the fact that I don't doubt myself. It upsets me that people doubt me.
Because you know your quality.
Yes, and I know how the work and stuff that I put in. So it's just like when it doesn't happen, it extremely bothers me. But I'm not at that point because I don't know if it's gonna. I know it's gonna happen, but I don't know like when it's gonna happen. So I can't say it's not gonna happen. So I don't ever worry about that. I just get up, I put in the work, and I work towards the goal that I know I'm gonna reach. You know, because I feel like anytime you have a bit of doubt, you have plan B or plan C. then you're not fully sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like you really have to be sure of yourself to do this.
Yeah.
Because the one time somebody comes in, somebody like you, say you love your mom and your dad, and you trust their word to the end. They come in and you have a little bit of doubt, and then the person you love and you trust the most comes in and say, "Well, son, I think you should do something else. It hasn't been working out for you." Now your whole life changes because you had a bit of doubt and you let somebody come in and they enhance it because, yeah. So for me, I don't have any doubt in myself.
That's really deep. I really like that explanation. And as an entrepreneur, you know, you're literally starting from the bottom when you decide I want to do this for myself as an independent artist, and you know, like you said, you're funding things, you're coming out of pocket for recording and beats and everything. How is it balancing, like, because so you working? Are you working as well as you're doing this?
I haven't worked
Wow.
in 8 months, man. It's hard. I ain't even gonna lie. I talked to my old. That's one thing I have been blessed to say. I'm blessed to say this. I've never been like denied a job. I talked to my old employer about possibly coming back because it's just like, all right, it's been 8 months, man. It ain't happened yet, but I know it's gonna happen. So, but I need to find a way to fund this because at first I had funding for it. And you know, you make investments and you do things to try to get to where you want to be. You don't have anybody coming out of pocket, so it's just like, nah, you have to do something. And I don't sell drugs or nothing, so I might have to go back to work, but I haven't been working like 8-9 months now.
How was it when you were working and you were balancing, you know, adulting and life and also trying to manage your career?
It's draining. I respect anybody that has a full-time job and fully chases their dream as much as I do. When I worked first shift at a youth development center from 1 to 3. Get off, go record, and go do a show that night, go do an open mic. It's very hard trying to balance that, you know. And then sometimes Slade's doing it now, and that's why I respect what he's got going. And he set up a lot of the tour, so it was just like, and you have to get up and drive, I have to go and work, and from 9 to 5 and straight to the next place. And for me, I know what that's like. So I have Brody does it too. He used to commute like an hour. He stays in Raleigh now, so he'll go commute from Rocky Mount to Raleigh, and then go down to Greenville for a show. Like that takes a lot. It takes a lot out of you. It's hard trying to balance that.
It's very draining. Like myself, I live in Durham.
Yeah, and when you say that.
And I am in Greensboro at least 4 times a week.
Yeah.
To the point where people think I live here. And I'm like, oh, I don't live here. I live like 45 minutes away. And it's very draining. So as far as your team, like, do they help, or do you have people in your corner? Obviously, of course, you're a beautiful lady. But other than that, the process is hard. You know, going through it, getting here, we're all at this place where we're like, we see where we want to be, we know our potential, and we're just grinding and working to get that break and catch that break. Would you say that you have people in your corner that make the journey easier? Not necessarily make it easy, but easier to bear.
Yeah, I have a lot of people in my corner, but I try to keep it separate because I know when you bring people in your dreams, it's your passion, it's what you want to do.
And you're very protective about what you want to do.
If they don't care about it as much as you do, if they like, I used to not let anybody joke about my music. Don't say anything. I will fight you. You know, that's how.
That's literally your baby. Like this is your music is your baby.
But I'm not like that no more. But it's just like this. If you bring somebody in that you're really close to and they're not doing, they're not doing what you would do for them if it was their dream, you'll cut them off. I cut them off. I cut a lot of people off because they didn't support me the way that I wanted them to. But then I learned that relationships carry a different weight. I got a friend, I can talk to him any day of the week, and like on an emotional level, on a conversation level, like, you know, he's one of my best friends. I got somebody that I can call no matter if I need anything financially, like, but conversation and stuff like that, it don't be there, I know it has me. So people play roles. So I have people on my team, but as far as the music level goes, it's just like I have people I do music with. I don't think it's anybody like, you know, that's not bad. I got somebody. Corey. My boy Corey. He's 100% there for me with the music as far as feedback. He helps with funding. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what to say about it because it's just like whenever I think about team, it's just like everybody plays a specific role.
Role in the process.
Yeah, and I don't think I have anybody that plays a specific role. I think I appreciate everybody for who they are.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
It's hard to speak on. You know, I don't know.
How long have you worked with Slade?
I met Slade, I think, in...
Because I met him the same time I met you.
Oh.
He was there. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
Yeah. Okay. Well, no, me and Slade, I've known Slade since I think 2017, 2016. Him and Jay came into an open mic. I was like, yo, these guys are dope, you know. And I got their card and I reached out and, you know, we just been cool
The
ever
rest is
since.
history.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I don't know how relationships happen like that, but most of mine do.
I feel like I'm a firm believer in when you meet someone and you just instantly connect and it's just like a magnetic energy. I'm 100% a believer, and that's a divine connection. Like,
Facts.
there's no way that I can click with someone that I barely know and it just
Facts.
feel right in that moment. And it's just like no questions about it. Like, we just riding. Like, we just riding together. You was on your journey, I was on mine, and now we going on this journey together, and ain't no questions asked.
That's exactly how it happened. And, you know, even with us being cities apart, just like it really didn't matter, you know. As far as music him and Jay had a show in Greensboro. I was coming from somewhere. I was living in Charlotte at the time, and I was going back to see her in Greenville. You know, he asked me to stop through. I'm tired, I'm blew out and everything, trying to go see these fools. You know, but I still went and did it. You know, I don't know. That's just how I ride. And when I see somebody that rides the same way, that means
You go hard for
something
that
to me.
person.
Yeah, you know, I'm a little bit different when it comes to morals and ethics. I trust everybody till I'm given a reason not to. I know
Yeah.
that's backwards, but I feel like
that's a good mentality to have.
you make a lot of friends and people see you for who you are, and you don't prejudge anybody, you know, just because you've been hurt, you know.
Yeah.
Taking past situations. That's why I said I agree with you in that situation when you said, you know, something you've been through before may trigger you. I don't always believe that, but I might believe it in that situation because it does sound familiar, and I never thought about it in that way.
I feel like that's why people have this mindset and approach when meeting new people and coming into contact to form new relationships, whether it be platonic or romantic.
Yeah.
I feel like that is why people have this, they're looking through the lens of their hurt.
Yeah.
And they're guarded, and it's just like, you're guilty until proven innocent. You gotta prove to me that you're trustworthy and da-da-da-da-da. Simply because of something somebody else did, a friend that betrayed them, or everything is so sketchy now because you're looking through the lens of your trauma and something that happened to you. So the whole world is just stained now.
Yeah.
So
I think that a lot of people do like that, but I hate that mindset. I just hate it.
it's unhealthy.
Yeah,
Very
because
unhealthy.
it's just like now you treat everybody as if they did you wrong, you know.
Yeah.
So I try not to think like that. You know?
What about Charlotte? We were talking and you said you did not like it.
I hate
Why
Charlotte.
did you hate Charlotte?
All right, couple things.
Did you live in Charlotte?
Yeah,
How long did you live in Charlotte?
about 5-6 months.
Now Charlotte is expensive as hell.
Oh yeah. Facts.
Oh, if you ain't got no coin, you are not going to live on your own in Charlotte.
Well, I live with
Because-
some friends up there.
Exactly. A lot of people I know live in Charlotte that got roommates.
Yeah.
But why didn't you like it?
Traffic was number one. Traffic was number two. Cause I live 5 minutes away from my apartment when I stayed in Charlotte, and it took me 30 minutes to get home every day. I stayed 5 minutes away. It took me 30 minutes to get home. That was the worst. Sometimes an hour, depending on because you have to make all those U-turns. It's ridiculous.
Did you stay on near university?
No, I stayed near Uptown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Charlotte, traffic was one. Two was how expensive everything was. I was in Greenville. I'd get I'm popular there, so I get my shots and stuff half off. In Charlotte, everything's like $7 a drink. And I'm like, man, and then they give you like this much.
See, that's why I love being a woman because, when I used to go out a lot, I didn't have to pay for nothing. Even if I came with money, I would walk up and a dude would be like, "Oh, I'm gonna pay your rent. Don't even worry." I'm like, "Okay, all right." So I definitely have not experienced. I've always found a way out of no way.
Facts, but no, it don't go like that for me.
I hate it. It's such a double standard. Y'all need women that's just like, I wanna spend some money on you, King, and spend it. No, you never had that.
No, I don't think so. But see the crazy. Guys have done that though. Like guys that would come up and be like, "Bro, you killed it. Let me buy you a drink." I'm still trying to censor myself and shit. Guys would come up and be like, "Yo, you killed the performance. Let me get you a drink or something like that." But other than that, man, no, they don't happen. But the drinks, the housing, everything's expensive in Charlotte. And just, I think what killed it the most for me was, I know the baby's from Charlotte and people gonna come at me at this, but when I reached out to artists in Charlotte, nobody wanted to work. You know, everybody was intimidated, or I call it intimidation because you see another artist trying to come up and you're not trying to, you know, work with them.
It's like,
yeah.
you know, it's like not a crab in a bucket, not a crab in a barrel mentality, but like a dog eat dog mentality,
Yes.
like as if collaboration is your enemy.
Yes.
When really it should be seen as an opportunity to gain another following.
Exactly, and that's how I look at it. I collab with a lot of artists in Greenville now. I make events where they can perform because I know it's not going to do anything but help me come up as well.
Yeah.
But people didn't look at it like that. They and I speak on it because I know other artists in the area. We're not in Charlotte, but outside of Charlotte, which is way too far to travel and work. But you just see through observation how people act and what people say about each other and how they treat each other.
Mm-hmm.
And as artists, man, it's just like it's a community here, but everybody's trying to make it themselves.
Yeah.
And which is fine and dandy, but don't try to hold anybody else back because, you know, you're trying to make it. Taking light off somebody else to shine on you isn't giving you more light. They probably still got more light. You just took a little bit of theirs. I just look at it different, you know. And that environment wasn't for me, you know.
Really?
Yeah, like you said, Major said earlier. Yeah, it's what you make it, you know. And I guess I didn't like Charlotte, so I couldn't make it anything.
I mean that's valid. Those are all valid reasons. I just liked Charlotte because of the atmosphere. Like I'm a country girl, but I love the city vibe. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so I feel like, you know, having a lot of friends in Charlotte, I kind of got the best of both worlds. You know, in a sense, I had some friends that didn't live close to the city, so I could get that kind of that, like, you know, like a nice suburban lifestyle. And then I had some friends that lived like right near downtown. I was just like, oh, this is nice. This is really nice.
Yeah, I feel that. But I think one of the things for me was I don't necessarily make the type of music everybody else make either. So with Charlotte kind of having this like a music scene developed already in a sort of similar sound.
That's what I was gonna say. Like everybody sounds the same.
Yeah, I don't feel like I wouldn't even have been accepted, you know. But somewhere as far as Greenville wise, there's no culture there. I'm able to do what I want and people accept it for
More
what it
freedom
is.
because
Yes.
there is no culture there already.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay. See, I was thinking along the lines of, since it's not like everything that you said, like the cost of living and it's just traffic and those are not as big cities as Charlotte. But I didn't think about it that way. And speaking of music, I listen to your music and I cannot find the song to save my life, and I cannot remember. I cannot remember the name of it, but you performed it at Culture Fest, and I remember asking you, and you was like, "Oh, it's not out yet. It's about to be released." It sounded like a island song. I can't think of what it was, but I was in the corner like, "Oh, I like this."
It was either Rockstar Girl, Tripping. I don't know. I got a couple.
I'm gonna listen to them.
I might have took them down. Like I said, I'm trying to rebrand, so I have like 150 to 100 songs out right now. I've took a lot down, but I don't think a lot of them have gotten the streams and stuff.
I think it might have been one of those. Now that you say the title, because I remember asking, "What's the name of that song?" And you were like, "It's not out yet." I was like, "Oh my God, let me know when it comes out, because that's fire." But yeah, dang, you took it down.
I might have. I don't.
I'll check. We gonna look it up and see when the interview's over. This rebrand. Tell me about how that came about. What made you decide? Okay, I need to go back to the drawing board and switch some things up and check my foundation a little bit.
Just being my biggest critic. All right, you know yourself better than anybody.
Right.
So I don't allow anybody to tell myself anything. I just step back outside of me and view my work, view what I've done. Is it good enough? For me, I don't think I've made as much of a stride as I could, especially with as much resources, with how many resources I have now, you know? So.
Yeah.
No, with the resources that I have now, I don't think I've made as much progress as I possibly could. So I took a step back and I just was like, well, what could I have done better? Why am I not making progress? And one of the things, well, I didn't have any visuals. I've been doing the same thing for about a year now. So how do I expand on what I have and use those resources, you know? And I think the biggest thing was when I came back from Atlanta, or when I was done with
After
football.
that incident that you were telling me about earlier.
Oh yeah, with that I just took it and I flipped the script from it. People were expecting me to get signed when I went down there. So when I went down there, it was just like, dang, Dre really about to do this. And, it didn't happen. So when I came back, I didn't say I didn't get signed or anything. I just said, you know what, it's up now. And people,
took that for whatever they wanted to interpret it as.
I didn't cap.
Did you look at that? Did you look at that situation as a rejection or just like a blessing in disguise in a sense? Because when you got there, you saw that it really wasn't what you thought it was.
Well, both, really, because I've always been one about controlling the narrative, flipping the script. Like, you can't control what's written about you, but you can control how people perceive it.
Mm-hmm.
So with Brody, like, man, was arguing the whole way back, man. We're just gonna take this and we're gonna make people, like, think we're signed. We're not gonna lie to them. We're just gonna set us up. And we did that, and it literally started turning around. So then from there, it's just like we had the attention of the people. So then I dropped a track with Mike Jones and featuring her. It's called We Made It. And that took it up another level. It's just like I kept on doing things to, gain more attention, gain more, gain a bigger fan base to keep branding myself. But then I kind of became stagnant because I started doing shows.
Mm-hmm.
I started, going out and trying to build myself more in the community. But now I feel like I plateaued. So I wanted to step back and reevaluate everything that I've done so far and figure out how I can take that to the next level. And I think I got away. So I ain't gonna speak on it too much, but I think I got something.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So what is 2020 looking like for you?
It's been the best start of a year I can ask for. I've been booked because of the tour.
Booked and busy.
Yes, very, and it's stressful. Everybody can't do this. Don't think you can. If you're a starting artist and you're trash, I don't want to kill your dreams, but
it ain't for
it ain't for everybody. It's not for everybody. Like you're tired. It's tiring, especially if you work in a job. I'm fortunate enough to say I've been supported to this point where I haven't had to work one in 8 months, but it takes money. It's draining because you can't do everything you want to. You have to do these shows even when you don't want to.
Because it's exposure. Every opportunity is an
exposure.
opportunity.
If you're getting paid off of them, it's money you can't turn down. You got to be around. You got to deal with these people that aren't necessarily the best of people. It's a lot of stuff that comes along with it that you just don't want to do. But when you start to get with what you want, you can't get mad at what comes with it.
Yeah.
So I've been booked at least 3 times every month up to March. So far I've been dropping every week, which I haven't been promoting the way I want to, but I considered that last year that would have been a success for me, but it's not good enough for me no more. I need to be getting the most out of these tracks. So I got booked for my first music fest. That's next month, March 28th. It's the Indie Music Festival. I think it's in Cary or Clayton, one of the two. I'm not sure. One of them C words. It's been a lot of great things happening. I've had people reach out to me wanting to work. I produce my own beats now, but I have a producer sending me a beat every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like 2 years ago, I would have loved that, but
it's progress.
Yes,
you have to see the growth in everything. You have to see the opportunities in everything because, that's one of my biggest things. That's why you have to really watch how you move and what you do and how you carry yourself because your character speaks before your music does.
Yes,
Even
right.
if nobody ever seen Re-Up TV, if nobody ever heard anything regarding me or heard any of your music, they're gonna meet you and your character is gonna speak for itself.
Nice.
So you walking and you living and you moving how you move, that literally sets the tone for everything. You can either lose fans or you can gain fans simply by how you act and carry yourself.
That is so true. I hate meeting people off Instagram that I thought was so cool. You meet them,
and then you meet them in person and it's like,
what
in the hell?
Bro, I wish I would have never met you. I wish I would have never met you. Like, yo, you was so intelligent online, bro.
But in person, it's like, who's there? Not who's there?
Yeah.
Any besides Culture Fest, any other shows after that?
Yes, I'm booking some now in Greenville because that's my base. I'm still building there. I don't have any I'm trying to tap into the college there. I've been out of college for a while, and you need to tap into the young folk. I say that like I'm old, but
we getting up there. How old are you?
25.
Yeah, I'll be 26 in July. We getting up there. You know, 30
No, don't talk about that.
Jesus.
Yeah, no, we good. We ain't 30 yet, but
No, we still kicking.
I did shows at ECU. I'm booking a few more in Greenville. I'm working on getting out of state. That's a bigger thing. It's this thing in New York. It's called Major Stage. I want to go do something there, so I'm talking to them now. But the conversation is kind of like taking a long time. Again, in March, I have the Indie Fest. Next Saturday, we have the Culture for. It's another
What
show.
time is Culture for? What time does it start?
You asked me this on camera. Now Slade gonna hit me like, Dre, you don't know what time it is, bro.
It's okay. We can announce it
Yeah.
after.
Yeah, I don't know the time. You know, she got my phone, so. But no, I'm not sure. But other than that, I've been doing this thing called building culture. Like it's just like every weekend where up and coming artists they come out and they showcase their talents, and we do 3 events. And the 4th event, we take the winners from those 3 events, and we call it the winners event. And they come out and they get a slide at our shows. So I've been doing that just about every week. Right now we're tied up. I think we're gonna do one next week though. But I'm doing something just about every weekend. So follow me on Instagram again at Dre of the East and turn on my post notifications. You can see everything that I'm doing. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to sit down and chat it up with me. This is a really dope interview. And you know, I look forward to working with you in the future because this ain't the last time. You know what I'm saying? I thank everybody that tuned in on my live and that's clicking this link and pressing play and downloading and following and just supporting however it is you support. Once again, it is your girl Siara Danyale with 105.1 Live, Re-Up TV Network, and this is episode 6 of Re-Up TV. Stay tuned for all the links and all the promo and all the @ names. So yeah, stay tuned.